Hi, conditional sentences. Life itself is conditioned, and English grammar has got conditional sentences. Yes, not only grammar, it is part of your speech already. I got a comment from one of the subscribers requesting for a video on conditional sentences. This is something that confuses even the advanced learners. When I was in my school days, I avoided using these sentences for the fear of getting it wrong. But then I understood that you need to experiment with conditional sentences to get it right. Okay, so today's video is exclusively dedicated to conditional sentences to all the learners. And if you're sure about this, you could recollect and think about some of the aspects. I would like to give the basics of these sentences. Now, as you know, there are 4 types of conditional sentences. Zero conditional, first, second, and third. Now, don't get scared, okay, on hearing all these names. So, my name is Rini Rose Matthew. If you're visiting the channel the first time, I'm a CELTA certified tutor and also an author. I thought of not wasting the time. I have made a note of a couple of things that I would like to share with you after doing some research. Okay, now whenever we discuss grammar, I feel that we have to focus on a context. That's what I have been doing whenever I specify certain aspects of grammar. Grammar cannot be learned just like that. You need a context. Now let's take the context. Learning English. We all are here to develop our communication skills and also to develop our language skills. So let it be English now because I'm speaking in English. I know that you're very clear and you're quite aware of the grammatical structures. What we need is just understanding. Okay, we just want to digest this concept. The first one, if you work hard, you learn. It's just like if I heat ice, it melts. So here it's all about the simple things that happens in life, simple present tense. Reality, something that's not imaginary, something that happens. It can be facts, yes, or something that you do regularly. Simple present tense. If I work hard, I learn. That's all. Let's go to the next one. The first conditional type, okay? If I work hard, I will learn. You just add one will. Oh, you're sure? Certain? Yes. Okay. It's not just real, but it is with reference to the future. If I do this, this will happen. You're certain. The earlier one was, you had the simple present tense. You are sure, it's reality and it's not imaginary. It's with reference to the present. Okay? It happens, yes. If I work hard, I will learn is the first conditional type. We all use these 2 types in our conversations. Okay, it's frequent. The only thing is don't use the past tense. If I work hard, I learned. No, that's not correct. Many people get it wrong. There, it's not past tense. I learn. I will learn, not I will learnt. No, that's wrong. So these are some of the mistakes that people make. The next one is the second conditional type. The same context, let's take that. If I worked hard, I would learn. Oh, you have model here, would. You can replace it with other sentences, other context, and you may have could also. But let's not take that now. Let's study the basics. If I worked hard, oh, that is in the past tense. Did you notice that? If I worked hard, I would learn. So here you have the consequence, and this consequence or the output, okay, it is with reference to the present and the future. Okay, if I worked hard, I would learn. So what is this present and future? If I worked hard, that is in the past tense. So from that, with effect to that action, from then, with reference to the consequence, then. So if I worked hard, when at that particular point of time, I would learn. So that is why it's with reference to the present and the future. So from there on, if I worked hard from that point, I would learn. So this I would learn, the consequence here is with reference to that action that happened then. So from then on, that is maybe in the present or the future, this is going to happen. I would learn. As simple as that. And of course, we use it when we speak about imaginary situations, something that's not real, even hypothetical. Something that's hypothetical and unlikely to happen. It may not even happen imaginary. If you're not able to remember all these technical words, it's okay. Just make your own sentences, keeping a context in mind. Let's go to the next one, and that is the third type. Okay, so 0 is over, first is over, second type is over. The third type. Third type is all about imaginary situation, and many people get confused between the second and the third type. If I had worked hard, I would have learned. If I had worked hard, past perfect tense. I know you know everything about past perfect tense. If I had worked hard, I would have learned. So it's completely hypothetical. It's imaginary, but there's a small change. There's a small difference from the previous type. This is something that you imagine altogether. You change the situation completely. Let's take the previous one. If I worked hard, I would learn. Okay, so it's imaginary, unlikely to happen, even hypothetical, but with reference to that point, the consequence is with reference to that point. Okay, and it is likely to happen in the future or in the present, whatever it is. But the last type, that is the third type, is if I had worked hard, I would have learned. I would have learned is wrong. I would have learned. Okay, past perfect, and I would have learned. So you change the situation completely. You think of another possibility that would have happened just because of this condition. Now let's take some sentences out of this particular context. So many people get confused between second and third type. The second type. So here also you can say, if I won a lottery, I would travel a lot. So I'm not referring to the context here, but just like that. So if I won a lottery, something that happens in the past tense, I would travel a lot. So there you see the consequences with reference to the present and the future. That's all. Okay. So now you want to change the situation completely. If I had won the lottery, I would have traveled a lot. If I had won the lottery, I would have traveled a lot. If I had won. Okay. It's past perfect, and I would have traveled a lot. Okay, fine. So maybe it's regret, or you want to change the situation completely. You are even giving a kind of suggestion to yourself. So that's all about the conditional sentence. Now there are two more sentences. If I were, if I was. If I was is used when you want to speak about a situation that happened, but you just want to alternate your position. If I was in your place, I would have done better. So the situation happened. So maybe if I was in your place, I would have helped you. So maybe I was not there, and now I'm saying that if I was there, I would have helped you during your difficult times. If I were in your place, I would have done better. So here it's imaginary. You're trying to change the situation completely. The situation itself did not happen probably. Hypothetical. You are creating the situation and also your place there. Completely imaginary, unlikely to happen. Yes, the previous one. So if I was is used when the situation happened, but you are just changing your position. The next type, if I were, the situation is different, it's completely imaginary and everything is changed, and then you are just giving a hypothetical situation there. That's all. So if you just learn the basics, actually it's very easy. You can create your own sentences, and before posting comments, you can just synthesize, process, allow your mind to relax, and then think of a context and then create your own sentences. So if you watch this video carefully, you will learn. You will be thorough with the concept. So the grammar gurus who are listening to me, please understand, every beginner may not comprehend the structure, the format, even tutors. I'm not here to teach you, but sometimes certain learners may just get confused and become frustrated, and they may just end this learning process thinking that they will never be able to do justice to it. Don't worry, you will get it right. I am not literally comfortable with the grammatical structures. It confuses me more. I'm not saying it's a wrong way of learning, but if you use a context and experiment, then you will get all these answers right. So I hope it's clear. Happy learning.